I'm impressed you've actually found one in stock. I was looking for one for a little while and they didn't pop up. That's why I went with not only the Cerakote, but also the Bear Steel. What's up everybody? Welcome back to Garage Gym Gains. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ricky and this is where we normally have daily gym tours. The reason I say normally is I just got married, which is awesome. There were a few days where we didn't post any videos. We are now, as you can see, in a little bit of a different setting. We're in Jamaica at a resort, but my awesome now wife, which is a little strange to say, I'm not quite used to that, said I could film a couple videos while we're out here. So I have a little bit of a makeshift setup right now. We're just running off of the, I forget what light it is, but the cube light on top of the camera, so it's a little darker than normal. And if you've ever been to this type of place or any hotels in general, for some reason they just use lamps, which I've never fully understood, but it is what it is. It looks okay, good enough to get some videos out there at least. Today we're checking out Scott Larson's gym, so I'll link his Instagram down below. Excited to see what it is. He said it cost him about $13,000, so hopefully there's some goodies in there.
Hi, my name's Scott, and I thought I'd show you my home gym really quickly. So I actually did not have a home gym at all until COVID hit. I was at my normal gym when our state governor gave the announcement that COVID was shutting everything down. And so in a panic, I hurried and put together a makeshift gym. As many of you out there know who've also built your gym during this time too, it was almost impossible to get anything. And I actually looked at it as a good thing because I was so passionate about building a home gym, and I'm a school teacher, so I was home when all this was happening. So I had to have something to occupy my time, and I had a good buddy of mine. We used to lift together at a powerlifting gym in Dallas, and he's moved to the other side of the country, I moved to the other side, and we kind of corresponded thousands of messages in order to figure out how we'd each going to build our home gyms. So anyway, without further ado, I figured I'd kind of walk you through things. So I'll start out with...
I was in a similar position as Scott. I've kind of always wanted a home gym, but I didn't actually start one until COVID hit, as with, I would assume, a lot of you. Obviously, we have the OGs like Kelly from a few videos ago that's been building one since like 1996, but a lot of us are newer, whether it's in the last couple years or even this last year. So awesome to see a newbie like a lot of us.
With this one, obviously, I think it goes without saying that the centerpiece of every home gym is going to be the rack. So this is the Rogue M6. I may have overdone it based off of space and stuff like that, but I found that I wanted something that you didn't have to add any legs onto, and this one's really stable. It's not moving around anywhere. You can come on in. You can see that we've got these right here, which were a considerable upgrade, and it's actually saved me twice. I was maxing on bench by myself, never recommended, and it saved me there. It also saved me when I was doing dynamic speed squats with chains, and I put it too far and it slid off, but it still just held up incredibly well. And I think Rogue's got a reputation for being a top-notch company for a reason.
We don't see the flip down safeties very often. We see a lot of straps and a lot of spotter arms, but not a lot of the flip down safeties. They're pretty sweet. I like them a lot. Rogue is, as you all know, they make a good squat rack.
But anyway, got the J cups, got a chalk bowl, which I bumped my head on several times. I know it's kind of gimmicky, but I like it. And then if you come in here, I'll kind of show you a little bit of what we got in here. As you can see, we've got pegs. I got a bunch of versions of those, but those are predominantly the ones I stick with. I've got chains here if you want to come in and show them this on both sides. So I got a 36-pounder, a couple 18s. I have no idea the size of those, about 5 to 7. But I use Matt Wenning's program, Wenning Strength. It's a fantastic program. It's changed the way I lift it a little bit, got me more energized into it. And we use a lot of chains in that program. So this is obviously a safety squat bar. I've really changed the style of lifting, and that's one of the advantages of a home gym. If you have a weakness at something, you don't have to worry about people are thinking. And I used to compete and stuff like that on bench press. And so I always had this just immense pride. I can't let people see me being weak. And you don't have to worry about that at a home gym, right? You can do things that you're not good at. So I took the time to work on things like a Hatfield squats, obviously box squats. I got the Elite FTS box squat there. I got the Rogue Ohio Power Bar, stainless steel. Spent a fortune on that, but it's actually worth it. The knurling is spectacular. That goes.
I'm impressed you've actually found one in stock. I was looking for one for a little while and they didn't pop up. That's why I went with not only the Cerakote, but also the Bear Steel. I don't know why, but that's what we have. I would have liked the stainless steel though. That would be cool. Good selection so far.
Without saying. I got this one with our first stimulus check. Probably should have used it to pay bills, but as many of you know, this is a very addictive hobby. So this is Tsunami Power Bar. It's kind of equivalent to like an earthquake bar. It shakes like a spaghetti noodle when you're lifting. It's really helped me work on some stabilizer issues, especially with injuries to shoulders and pec that I've had from my heavy benching days. This was actually the first bar I ever got, and I picked it up from the trucker on the side of a road a few towns over. Very shady, thought I was gonna get killed, but I was so obsessed with getting a bar, I was like, it's probably worth it. It's not the best bar in the world, but I've actually loved that because I can throw chains on it. I use it in the landmine, which you can see down here. I actually bought camber bar attachments that I can throw on there, and you can just beat the heck out of this thing, and you don't have to feel guilty about it. Whereas if I breathe on this one wrong, I'm getting a full Rain Man mode. This one right here, the Kabuki Catalog Bar. I think you guys are pretty familiar with that one. I believe you reviewed that on your website actually. So this one's really good. I found that it's helped me kind of differentiate my training a little bit, and that kind of goes into what we were talking about with winning strength. He uses football bars all the time, and that's possibly the best one on the market. This one right here is called the Back Widow. I know Coop from Garage Gym Reviews reviewed this one. I think he's a little more into it than I am. The retail value of these was about $300. You can change it into about 1 billion different variations of positions and things like that. So you can do all sorts of different things. It's just not one style. My only issue is, I'm only 5'8", 5'9". I'm not the tallest guy in the world. And even for me, the grips sometimes just, if you can see that, it just, I don't know, I feel that if they could have just changed the dimensions on this, it could have been spectacular. But nevertheless, it's great for me because obviously I've allocated space in my gym for other things that aren't necessarily that. So you can see that I've got the Titan Viking Press back there. I'll attach it with this bar, and I've got a landmine stand that I got from Titan as well that I can show you in a minute. And I'll just do it right here. I'll do shoulder presses, stuff like that. And that one's good to kind of change it up. So this is my bench right here. It's the Rep Fitness Zero Gap. I absolutely love this thing. As many of you know, it's built like a tank. I even have a foot attachment as well, so you can do decline with it. Obviously, it comes up for incline. And as my buddy who's recording could tell you, I hated nothing more in the world in a gym on a bench press than having a gap. And most adjustable benches have it, and that's one of the things that drew me towards this, is it doesn't.
You guys know I love Rep Fitness benches. I really like the FP5000. That is the standard flat bench, but if you're just gonna get one bench for both flat and incline, so you're gonna get an adjustable bench, but just an adjustable bench, not adjustable and flat, you have to go with the Zero Gap from Rep. It's fantastic. There is no gap, just like he was saying. So that means when you're bench pressing, your butt's not gonna be in the gap, because it does throw off your bench press. But if there is no gap, there's no gap for your butt to get into, so it's perfect. One bench, get the Zero Gap. If you need incline stuff, a lot of powerlifters don't actually do anything with incline, in which case you'd be fine with a flat bench, but yeah.
I got my squat shoes there. If you want to come over here. So these are my dumbbells. I know a lot of people argue that you should use adjustable dumbbells for a home gym due to space limitations and stuff like that. And I realized that even in here where I'm in, an extra bedroom, there's not a lot of room. This is kind of built for just 1 or 2 people lifting. But I'm just old school. I love dumbbells and I didn't want to give those up. So I've got 50s, 20s, 40s, 50s, 75s. I got 100s, 120s, and the local gym in town, Quality Home Fitness here in Idaho Falls, Idaho. I got most of these through them. They don't go up to 140s, so I ordered these through Intech, and the knurling on these is just awesome. So I love those. I don't take them for a ride too often, but you know, maybe a couple times a month. And then we come over here, I'll show you a few things. So we just got these for obviously cable attachments, and I'll show you that in a minute. I got a bench block right next to it. If you guys are familiar with that, so you need to spend a lot of time. Ab mat, which is pretty common. You can see here that you got a roller. I got that one from Titan Fitness. I mainly just use it for like glute and hamstring developing, but a lot of people will use it for kind of like a substitution for an ab roller, which we do have. I got fat grips here. I got the Matador here, which I used to love dips, weighted dips. I don't really do those as much anymore, but it comes in handy from time to time. So I got the Sand Dune Sand Stepper. So back in my younger days, I used to love playing sports. Still do, but not as often anymore. But basketball, I ruptured the ligaments in my ankle. I had to do physical therapy. And so I realized that the sports I do play, you know, hockey, weightlifting, stuff like that, football, you know, I'm not going to be able to be injury-free forever. And so I figured as I start to get older, I want to have this gym for the rest of my life, not just now. So I wanted to have stuff that I could use now versus things that are going to help me as I get older. So I got the Bob over here. This one is, of course, from Westside Barbell. This is another one that really works well on your ankles. Stabilizer, balance, all that stuff. A lot of times I'll use the 20s and or the 40s and I'll lean on there and kind of do it. That one's excellent.
Okay, I actually have no idea what either of those are, so if everybody knows or if anybody knows, please let us know down below. Give us a little bit of insight because I have no idea what they are.
I got a smash ball here, and then you can see I've got a curl bar as well as a hammer curl bar over there. And that's kind of it over here. Let me show you the bands real quick. I want to come over here. So I got the full set through Rogue. I got these really heavy ones. I'll use these for abs, leg resistance. Same with these. That one I was using today. Obviously we get down to the blue, red, purple. This is one I thought I'd use a lot more, and that was kind of what I was talking about as far as long-term health. This is the big race strap. It's to kind of stretch out your hips, legs, and back. You kind of hang upside down like an inversion table. I don't really use it that often, but it's still a handy tool. And then over here I've got the Spudding pulley system, both upper and downer. As you can see, I don't have room for a full lat down or lat pull down machine in here. And honestly, this does the job. If you need to do close grips, you can, or like rows, you can do dumbbells, you can do landmines. There are a lot of different things you can do. And you can even do it with a lower one as well. Up here I've got, as you can see, the hip circle from Mark Bell and the slingshot. Both of those are awesome tools as well. So, show you my posters and things like that, flags. Obviously you gotta have the American flag. I teach US history, politics, government, poli-sci, all that. Gotta represent the country. Got my man Arnold up there. Iron Maiden over here. You can see Cobra Kai, No Mercy. And then of course my beloved Green Bay Packers, Go Pack Go. And then if we kind of come over here, you can just see, I use this sound system. Sorry, I use the sound system right here. It's nothing spectacular, but I can blare NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, sometimes Bieber, Beyonce, get sassy while I lift, you know. But yeah, I love that. That's an advantage over, you know, being at a commercial gym where you have to have headphones or else you actually are listening to those artists. Liquid chalk, but I'm not a huge fan of that. That's the remnants of our old gym where they wouldn't allow us to have chalk, which is insane. So let me show you these kettlebells real quick too. These are from On It. If you're a fan of Joe Rogan, I think a lot of you have probably seen these because he lifts.
I keep seeing a ton of the On It kettlebells popping up. It seems like the last 3 or 4 videos, or at least 3 or 4 of the last few videos have had these. I feel like if I'm gonna get kettlebells, it's gotta be these. They look awesome and they're not just a regular kettlebell.
to these as well. That's a 72-pound one there for the gorilla. I still want to get the orangutan and the Bigfoot. I got a couple chimpanzees right here. These are 36-pounders. And this is from my local fitness gym. These are 53-pounders here. This one's an 80 and this is 106. And then obviously this is my good buddies nutrition company in Pocatello, Idaho. BYN Nutrition, Beyond Your Nutrition. Eric Hillary, great dude. And that's a belt that I got from him. And then obviously a medicine ball there. So let me show you a couple things that we have in here. We had to throw them in here for space. This is obviously just going to be attached to that for decline sit-ups, decline press, stuff like that. That's pretty common sense. You can see I got a landmine holder in there, and I got a gym bag with some other stuff that nobody cares. We don't need to get that out. But this thing I do want to show. I really wish I remember who made this so I could give him props. I definitely want to add a belt squat in the basement, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But this is great in the meantime because you can just attach it here. You can only use it really for dynamic days because it doesn't go super heavy. But it's great for belt squats. And I'm not going to set it up because you can kind of figure out how it works. But it does an excellent job. Obviously, I got the spudding belt right there for belt squats. I got this for pull-ups and dips weighted. And obviously, I got the Rogue pull-up bar right here. This is something I definitely need to fix because obviously this was not meant to be a gym. This was a bedroom. So we had to take the blades off the fan here. We're going to have to get just a regular light in here and kind of make it flush. It looks really weird and people make fun of me when they come over and see it. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the basement real quick. When I talk to you about how addicting this stuff is, it's not a joke, right? Like this was supposed to be, I'll send you a picture of the initial gym after the COVID shutdown and how much this has changed. Obviously my cat had to be in here because she's really needy and demands attention throughout. I promise she's treated like a princess, but she was curling in the squat rack and we can't have that. So we come down here. This is another bedroom. So,
okay.
This is the Echo bike. I will admit I don't use it quite as much as I should, but now the hockey season's over, I'm going to be using it to kind of get in shape. Interval training on it is absolutely spectacular. Everyone's familiar with it, don't need to spend too much time on that.
I'll update you guys on my, not search for an Echo bike, but decision-making process. I used one at one of our gyms. Not the gym that I'm normally at, but one of the other gyms that I don't spend as much time at, so I didn't realize we had one back there, and I used it, and it is insane. Totally kicked my butt. I was only on it for like 30 seconds. My heart rate was elevated for probably the next couple minutes. It was awesome. It moved it up on the list a little bit.
This one is obviously a reverse hyper and a glute ham developer combo from Titan. Of course, they have a funky name for it that nobody knows. We just call it what Louis intended it to. But obviously, you can see that for reverse hyper. You flip this around, you can do glute ham developers. In honor of Louis, I've got West Side barbell bands that you can attach on there. I know he hates what Titan's done with this, you know, so we got to give our props to the inventor of all this. And then I'll kind of finish up the tour with this right here. So when I was a 17-year-old kid, there was an old-time weightlifter who used to do the West Side barbell system. His name was Mike. And I was just a kid with raw strength, didn't have any knowledge of this stuff other than lift weights. You know, it was very primitive. And he saw me at some scout thing or whatever, where I outlifted every adult that day as a 16 or 17-year-old kid. And he gave me his number and taught me everything that I know. Everything that you would learn about in West Side or Winning Strength or a lot of those other ones that use the conjugate system. He taught me through that. So he taught me chains and boards and bands and everything that went along with it. And so he took his own life a few years ago, which is really sad for a lot of people in our lifting community around town. And the guy that used to lift with him was actually his doctor at the scene. And this was his old thing, because he was an old-time weightlifter too. So when I went to buy this, yeah, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but in a weird way, it's kind of the homage to the guy who taught me a lot of what I know about lifting. And you know, lifting is the greatest sport in the world, and I'm grateful for it every day. And even though this thing ain't pretty, it's a lot like, you know, the things that he taught me. They're sturdy, and it does the trick. So obviously you can do leg extensions, leg curls on that. Finally, right.
Obviously there's sentimental value there with the leg curl, leg extension combo there, but I've never seen one of those. I think that thing looks awesome. I've never seen plate loaded leg curl, leg extension like that. I've seen kind of a pin loaded version, but that looks legit.
Here, this is the last area that I basically have for the home gym, so I got to make it count. I've been really debating if I want to do a belt squat. I love Matt Wenning's belt squat. I think that's about the best one on the market, but it's really expensive, and I'm a high school teacher, so another one that's a little more in my price range that I've been looking at is Bells of Steel, I think is what it's called, and I'm going to brain for right now. But they have a pretty good one as well, and I think I just put that right in there, and you know, that kind of finish it off. Obviously need more plates and stuff like that in here, but yeah, hopefully when I get married someday, my future wife is okay with our only having one kid, because we only have one extra bedroom now, and it's going to be weird having a crib in here, but you know, I guess the kid will have to adapt. Anyway, thanks. This is once again, I'm Scott, and I appreciate the opportunity for you to come in my home and check out the home gym. And anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below on the video, and we'll see you next time. Go Pack, go!
That kid's just gonna have to be real strong, or he's gonna have awesome endurance. Either way, Scott, thank you for letting us check out your home gym. You do seem like an awesome high school teacher, so I do appreciate that. But what do I like best? As I'm trying to think, you message or comment down below what you guys like the best about Scott's home gym. I think I'm gonna go with how big that squat rack is, even though it's in a smaller space, because you really, yes, it takes up most of the space in that room, but that's really all you need to put in there. You can do incline work with dumbbells or whatever in the adjustable bench, either right in front or inside. You could deadlift inside of there, do everything you need inside of the rack. And it also gives you plenty of room to put that spudded system on there for the lat pull downs or rows or whatever you're trying to do with it. So I really like his use of space. I think he did it effectively. You could put a smaller rack in there, but what are you really saving room for if there's not going to be enough room to put some type of cable machine in there or other machines? You might as well fill up the space with the rack. But again, thank you, Scott, for letting us check out your home gym. I believe this is one of the only ones we have that's in 2 different locations. So that's some dedication there as well. But once we get back in the swing of things, it will be daily gym reviews. So if you have a home gym and you want me to check it out, record a video horizontally, upload it to YouTube. You can list it as unlisted if you don't want anybody else to see it. And then send me the link on Instagram, garage_gym_gains, or email garagegymgains@gmail.com. But I believe we have dinner reservations, so I'm out.